Hi there everybody, hope you're well on this lovely sunny, for a change, Saturday afternoon, February the 2nd here in London. Before I start, have you booked your free ticket to attend the dating and relationship conference which takes place tomorrow at the Holiday in London? Have you booked your free ticket? Why not? I've just checked the registration and there's 437 people have registered for this event, and people are still registering now. So all the lastminute.comers are coming on board. So if you booked your ticket, if you haven't, please book it now, because you can come along and attend this event here as well. Now this event is taking place, and it's not a singles event. It's not focusing only a couples event, but the whole focus of this event is to help singles and couples find love and build stronger relationships. This is my 4th event over the last, I think, 6 years now, and this looks like it's going to be the biggest one to date. I have 21 speakers that's going to be providing every single aspect of a relationship that you can think of, from therapy to abuse to narcissists to social media to singlehood to improving your current relationship. And for those of you that may want to speak on stage like one of the speakers in the future, find out about that. If you want to be helping me with your business or you want to speak all over the other events, come along and see that as well, because I'm looking for more speakers that's going to be coming along and attending and speaking at this event. It's in London. It's at the Holiday Inn, Regent's Park. The nearest station is Great Portland Street. I'm actually here now in my hotel, just making sure all the logistics are all okay. I like to be there the day before, very early, to make sure everything's in place. Those of you that know me, I'm a Virgo, I'm a perfectionist, so it needs to be all in place. So one of the speakers we're going to bring on is the lovely Margaret Thorley as well, and she's a client of mine, and this will be over the last, I think, 6 months. This will be her third time speaking on stage, and it's just taking her confidence to a different level. So let's bring her on, hopefully, fingers crossed, with the live, and I can say hello to some of you that's actually coming along to this live as well. Let's see if we can bring her on, fingers crossed. There we go, should be adding her, should be coming on now. So let me say hello to some people that's on the live as they're coming along now. Hi Donald Brown, he spoke at one of my events last year as well. Hope you are well from the Midlands. Syra, hi Syra. Farhan, hi Farhan. Viola, hi Viola. Which country are you in now? Good to see you. Akila Brown, hi. Carol Bailey. Basil, hi Basil. Amadea, Julie J, hi. Marcus, hi Marcus, are you coming tomorrow? Hope I see you tomorrow. If not, connect with me. Caroline Strulson, hi Caroline. Hope you're well. See you tomorrow. I'm at the hotel. Everything's in place, don't worry, everything's in place. So I'm making sure everything's all going well. So Margaret, we're waiting for you to come along to the live, hopefully. So those of you that are wanting to come along, you can book your free ticket, and there's going to be so many different aspects. You're going to find out how to attract the right partner, and you want to find out what men really want from women in relationships, and we're going to find out what women really want from men in relationships as well. That's a whole subject in itself. That's a whole project in itself. So those of you that are on the live, before we get Margaret to come along, what would you say the number one quality that a woman looks for in a man? Those of you that know it, put that into the chat before, as I'm waiting for Margaret to come along. Let's see if she's going to come along again. Who's got any comments on that? Now, those of you who don't know, come on ladies, you must. Caroline, what do you say? Morgan, you and me must know, what's the number one quality that they look for? Hey Morgan. What would you say that? What would you say that is? I mean, God, I used to do events, and it used to be different. Some women as none of you want to commit yourself to that, so I suppose I better put in my little 2 pence. With my experience, been speaking to lots of women and holding lots of events, one of the top ones that women like to have is security. They like to feel secure, and not just financially, but emotionally as well. And how a man can make them feel, you just know that you're being looked after. You know that he's got your back, and you know any given situation, you know that you can turn to him. So security is one of those ones as well. And I suppose another one they would say would be communication as well. But then us men want that as well. Hi, Everin, and I like the way that no one's commenting when I'm asking these questions. I'm assuming you can you can hear me. And the last time I was doing a test with Margaret, it took her a while to sort of come on. So before I carry on with the rest of the tips and stuff, how many of you are coming tomorrow? Michelle, Raymond, hey, how you doing, Mish? Thanks for sharing my event, Michelle. You wait till I see you. Yeah, so those of you that are on this live, it's promoting the up and coming event tomorrow. The question was, what's the number one quality that women look for in a man in a relationship or their current partner? What's the number one for you, Michelle? Because we've got a few people that are chickening out. That are chickening out from answering that. Oh, here we go. Emotional intelligence, trustworthy. Thank you very much, Morgan. Define emotional intelligence. Suppose some women do not like an emotionally immature man. I mean, dating a man that has traits of a teenager, for argument's sake. Is that what you're making reference to? Honesty. Okay, honesty. Is that across the board or specifically? Okay, and grounded. Grounded. Ooh, honesty, grounded, emotional intelligence, trustworthy. And it's none of the men are commenting. Here's Margaret coming along. She can deal with this as well. So she's coming on now. I don't delay with the lives today. Like, seems to be like a couple of minutes delay, and usually it comes on within seconds. But we're here, so that's the main thing. She should be coming on any second now. Fingers crossed. And the title of the topic today is "Know You Are in a Relationship." So I'm going to be asking Margaret some questions. She's one of the speakers tomorrow at the Holiday Inn Regent's Park. Margaret, put your headphones in. I am. This is our 100th Facebook Live. What are you doing? I'm just talking to some people. When you've sorted your life out, let me know. So,
okay, I'm ready.
Raymond says, just want someone who is honest about their feelings, whether I like it or not. Good luck for tomorrow. Thanks, Michelle. Let's have a chat. Let's catch up anyway. We've got a lot to talk about anyway. So let's have a chat. And you owe me. She said she was going to share this event and she hasn't done it. You wait. I'm going to get you back, Miss Raymond. Margaret.
Yes.
She's here. She's back to earth.
I am. You know, we're going to have a crazy interview, right? A funny one, yes?
I know. And hurry up because the football results are coming out soon. So you better hurry up.
Okay. That's why I'm going to keep you a bit longer then. I'm going to take my interview slow.
It's all right. You're okay because Liverpool are playing on Monday evening, so you're all right.
All right, so we should do the Facebook Live on Monday. No,
no one can get hold of me on a Liverpool game. I tell you that as well. So we got some more people coming along to them live. We got Michelle Richards. Hi, Michelle. Hope you're well. That's cool, Michelle. Just get Michelle Raymond. Just get back to me. We'll chat on Monday. Gia. Hi, Gia. Ellen Parker. Brilliant. Morgan Fay says, has the ability to express all of his emotions in a healthy and balanced way, has knowledge of self and can communicate his feelings. I'm sure there's much more to emotional intelligence though. That was her definition of emotional intelligence. So what I was asking was, what do women, the number one quality that women look for in a relationship, with a man in a relationship? We have Chimanya Jem. Hi, Chimanya Jem. Hope I pronounced that right. I'm just going to call you Miss C. Hope you are a miss as well. Gia says hi. Desmond and Margaret, hi. Misha,
hi.
saying hello. So, Margaret,
Yes.
Tell me about you. Let people know who you are. You're speaking tomorrow.
Yes, I am.
For the third time at my event. And Margaret spoke for the first time at my event. What date was it? Was it July?
Yes, it was July. Yes, it was July.
Yeah, she spoke in
Yes.
July, spoke in November, and she's speaking again. She's speaking again in tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Right? So this is what I do for people that come to me. She's never spoken on stage before.
That's
And I
true.
must say, when she spoke on stage, she was a natural. I gave her the title of a female version of Les Brown at the end, and I meant that.
I remember that. I'm still holding on to that words in my heart. It was so encouraging and so inspiring. Speaking for the first time and somebody to say that to you on stage. And I think we had over 200-300 people on stage. And for me, to say that to me in front of everybody, I was like, wow. I was surprised and I held it and it also boosted my confidence as a first time speaker. So yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. Really did.
That's what I do. Anybody, those of you that are around me, know that I help people to grow. I mean, Michelle, Raymond, that's just come onto the live. You know, I've connected with her. She's speaking in Portugal in May. So, you know, that's from my events and stuff, the same event that you spoke to. So it's all good. For those of you that are on this live, before we get into it, if you can send us some love and some love hearts and share it as well. Share this live because it's going to be, as it stands now, 437 people.
That's amazing. Amazing.
Now, they're not all going to come because that's how it works.
But you put a good proportion to come.
Yeah. So we've listen, as long as we get 50 in the room, I'll be happy.
No, we're going to get all in the room.
I know, what are we going to do? We're going to have to start charging people £1,000 to come in.
That'd be a good start.
Yeah, that's too expensive. Maybe £900. So listen, who's Margaret Fawley?
Right, who's Margaret Fawley? Very happy person. I love laughing and joking. But on a serious note, I own my own business where you have a training center, which is called H&I Training Professionals. We work with women, which is young adults. I focus a lot on lone parent, being a lone parent myself in my journey, so I truly understand about that. And also the 50 plus. So our training center, we run a credit program specifically targeting for women, those who want to go into business, want to change their lifestyle, personal development, those who want to have their own dream jobs. So what do? We run workshops and we're coaching them and right up to the point where they start their own businesses. We work very closely with the job centers and some of the local partners as well. And we've done really, really well. So yes, that's what I do currently. While doing that at the same time, and decided to write a book. I'm the author of A Single Mother. Yes, I'm the author. and that's what got me here to meet you, because of my book. So yes, you see.
Not because I support Liverpool. No.
Oh no, because you see, I support Arsenal. So yeah.
Oh, we beat you 5-1 already. So let's move on.
And so yeah, in between that, in between doing the training and the teaching, then I wrote the book A Single Mother in the Dating Game, and basically just looking at the issues that we go through in terms of dating. So yes, that's what Margaret Fawley currently doing, and hope to go into doing a lot more speaking on stage with you, and that's my dream at the moment. Yes.
and we got the next phase is going to be even more amazing. So I'm just looking at some of the comments. I'm going to block Gia because she's saying, "Yay, Gunners." Where's the block? Where's the block? Where's the block?
Can't block her.
Block her. Block her. And I think she wants to speak at one of my events. Never. On a serious note, I mean, obviously I'm not a single mother, so I cannot relate to this. But I know a lot of single mothers, and I know that it can be difficult for them out there, especially if they have more than one child and a childcare. I know one person in particular that has a couple of children, and she doesn't have the support around her
Mm-hmm.
for the babysitting. So when
Yes.
she wants to meet somebody, to the point sometimes she has to lie to her parents. She's a big
Mm-hmm.
woman as well. She's like, she's in a, I don't know, I think she's in a around about the 40 mark.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's sort of explaining to me, well, I can't meet anybody because the only support system I have is my parents. And if I have to lie to them to make them, so I can eventually meet somebody because I'm not with the child's dad and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the time because she's working as well. She's got to pay bills, kids, and the children of that. So that's just one aspect of single motherhood. And I have lots of seminars where the majority of the women were single mothers. And it's good that you're doing a book. You're going to be doing some courses. You're going to be
Yes.
doing some information to help them to raise their self-esteem, love themselves more. And and as a man,
Mm-hmm.
I used to put my hand up when I was when I used to go out dating women. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, many years ago,
Go.
obviously. I put that out there now before I get killed. And I used to avoid women with children, like with mothers, because I had it in my perception that it's going to be grief. The dad's going to give me grief for the children and all the drama that came along with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up marrying a woman with um, an 18-month-old baby.
Mm-hmm.
So it just goes to show how your perception of something can be changed just like that. Because
Yes.
I so that just goes to show that it didn't. For me, it didn't put me off because obviously I married her, and obviously it didn't work out. But it just
Mm-hmm.
goes to show that my perception of that back then, at the time, it was right for me. But on reflection, I could have. One of the things that I like about women with children, and I think a
Yes.
lot of my male friends would say the same thing. They seem to be more grounded. They seem to be more responsible, and they seem to be more maturer and how they have an outlook in life
Mm-hmm.
generally across the board, because
Yes.
they have to be a role model to their children first of all. Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
and 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 they have to be that role model. So the children, their first impression of life or how to be a mother, especially if she has
Mm-hmm.
daughters, can only be the mother. So the mother
Yes.
has to portray herself in a dignified, in a certain way, because the daughter's going to copy that. She's going to model that as she grows up as well.
As she
I'm cutting
moves
up
on.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just
There's
talking
a lot.
about.
There's a lot of points that you've actually raised, and I'm going to try to address as many as I can as I could remember them. One of the points that I actually want to address, yes, dating a single mother with one or two or three children, it has its own challenges and everything like that. However, it's up to the guy or it's up to the woman to work out what kind of relationship they want to have together. Because here you are coming in a relationship with, there are children there who are not your own children. So you need to find out and address, do I really want to go into this relationship with a ready-made family? Because when you come and date a single parent with two children or one children, you're walking into a ready-made family. So that is something you really got to think about already. Another thing as well, what really got me passionate in terms of speaking about lone parent, I remember was doing a search, and within that, somebody was saying is they don't want to date single mothers because the reason being is that we don't have time, or we're so demanding. And I'm thinking, what? Where did you get that from? Okay, that got my back up already. You're dating a single mother. She is grounded already. She has no choice to be grounded because she's got this family to look after, which is her top priority after all. Not only that, she got to worry how she's going to bring the money in, how she's going to make sure her children are safe, and also trying to create that time to have that relationship to go on. But I think any guys who takes an opportunity and date a single mother, they're in for a really good treat because we are grounded, we are mature indeed. Another thing you spoke about, us being a role model of our children. Indeed, we are a role model of our children because like I run a mentoring workshop and classroom workshop for lone parent, specifically for lone parent. And most of them, they've been on the job center for over 5-6 years or longer. And I always say to them, look, guys, you are a role model to your children. You are the mentor of your children. They are going to watch you, what you do in life. So you're going to have to prepare yourself because they know, why is mommy not going to work? You know, why mommy's not there? Why are we always struggling for money? So I always say you have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare your mind to be able to be that strong role model for your children. So yes, it is a hard going in terms of trying to date at the same time. I remember when for 9 years, I didn't go on a date, literally didn't go on a date because obviously, like you just explained the scenario with this lady, because you want to go on a date, then you got your children. You want to go on a date, the child is sick. Now you got to make a decision. Do I go? My child is sick and you really want to go because you haven't been on a date for a long time. At the end of the day, you end up not going because obviously your child's need comes first. And yes, it is a lot to struggle in terms of that. But I think we're the most amazing, amazing women for guys like you to come and date. So there.
One of the things, and thanks for sharing it. One of the things that, and I can be honest to say that I was in my, I suppose 20s and 30s. I was just dating, I would say, girls. Right? There's a difference between a relationship with a girl and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
This is from my experience, okay? And I found that the first woman that I came across, that I dated, had a young baby, and I ended up marrying her. And what I mostly was doing was I was subconsciously looking for that grounded woman because I was just dating girls. I mean, not emotionally intelligent girls. They were just all that on the surface. You know, a lot of us guys go through that when we was younger and stuff. And I kept going through that phase, and then I realized what I wanted was a family. I wanted to be settled. I wanted to get married and settled because I was tired. You know, I was tired, and it was time to settle. I had a successful business, and it was time. I thought it was time to to settle down. It didn't. The marriage didn't last. But I'm talking about the time and the feeling at the time. And one of the things that I suppose I liked about my ex-wife, if she's watching, she must have been watching all my lives, not telling me, was that she was very homely, and she had the lot of the qualities of a home. And my parents were Jamaican, and she was Jamaican, so the cultural everything just slotted in. It was just she just understood. I understood her, I understand her, and I understood the culture and everything. But she was grounded. She was a mother. So I watched her growing up. I watched her bringing up her baby from the off. And I think what some of my friends have experienced is they meet these women that they've never seen how they are with children, have a child with them, and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, it doesn't really work out because they haven't seen what they're like as a mother. One of the things that impressed me about my ex-wife at the time was that she's a very good mother with her son. I watched her growing up, how she was with him, how she was attentive, how she disciplined him, how she cleaned him. So I thought, well, if she's like this with her son, and I'm happy in that area, then if you have any children, then it means then this is how she's going to be. And I was happy with that sort of at the time. So I'm going to come to you, Margaret. I've just got people to make some comments.
Okay.
Micho says, nice one, Margaret. Micho Raymond says, nice one, Margaret. Kia says, I have huge respect for lone parents. You are amazing, Margaret.
Thank you.
Yeah, Micho Richard says, I was a lone parent when my son was 6 months old. He's 25 now, but it was so challenging, but wouldn't change it for the world. Thank you for sharing, Micho. Patrick Garner, how you doing, Patrick? How you doing, mate? Micho Raymond says, she says to Michelle Richards, did you try online dating? Michelle says, there's anyone going to be talking about online dating tomorrow, the pros and cons. We've got a few matchmakers tomorrow, Michelle. That's going to be one of them's going to be touching on that, which I've advised her to just briefly mention on that, because there are pros and cons of that, which is a different subject, which I could interview someone about that in the future. Gia says, that's very interesting from a male perspective. Thanks for sharing, honestly, Des. Thank you, Gia. That's what I do. Just share honestly. There's no ego with me, those that know me. Gia says, yes, grounded and responsible. I've seen this with many of my friends. Hi, Kelly Monroe. Hi, Sabia. Gia says, and I've also found that guilt from mothers plays a part in their dating life. And Michelle Richards says, it's true, but it takes on an extremely warm, caring, patient, and honest man to be worthy of any single mother, as she's used to doing things for herself. She will most probably shower you with love and homemakers. Patrick says, good topic, my brother. I'm listening attentively.
That's
I know
good.
this is her interview, but she's made a valid point there, which is she says that it takes an extremely warm, caring, patient, and honest man to be worthy of any single mother, as she's used to doing things herself. Now, one of the things that myself, in my experience with single mothers, and I think a lot of my male friends would say the same thing, is because they're so used to doing it all by themselves. I'm talking everything, right? I used to find it challenging that I wanted to take some of that away from her. Let me do this, let me do that. But a lot of my male friends are saying the same thing. But because she's so used to doing it all, she carries on doing it all. She does it all. And then we can't get in to help them because they're doing it all for themselves. And I think sometimes, some single mothers need to just take a step back and just allow the man to come in and help her, if that makes sense.
It does make sense indeed. And funny enough, part of the things that I was addressing in my journey being a single parent, and just like you say, because from the offset, you know you're on your own, so everything has to be planned, everything needs to be in order, and everything has to run smoothly, particularly if you're running a business or you're working, okay? And you forget how to ask for help. And I remember particularly what you've just said. My mantra was, there's nothing a man can do for me that I can do for myself. So I held on to that mantra for such a long time that even if I did have a man in my life and with the kids, and he's really good with the kids, I didn't know how to deal with it. Because I'm so used to doing all those things by myself. I'm so used to doing the shopping. I'm so used to doing that. But as time progresses, hopefully the man or the partner that I have, he is understanding enough. And I think also what we need as well, as you said, is taking that small step, not so much say, let me do this, just go and do it. And as we get used to that journey, seeing, oh, okay, he's going to do that anyway. If I don't ask him, I know it's going to be done. That gradually begin to give us confidence enough to begin to let go some of those tasks that we, holding that banner, we can do it all. And also it comes down to as well, the trust as well. Do I trust him enough to be able to do this for me? Another thing that I've learned within that journey, that if I ask him for help, how would he feel? These are not his kids. How would he feel if I ask him, am I exposing my vulnerability, my weakness? So we have all those to deal with those issues. So we are going to find it, and for me particularly, find it hard to allow the man to come in and take over. And another thing as well, what happens if he walks away? What happens if the relationship finish? So we have all that to deal with, and to giving it away just like that, it's going to be tough and hard for us. And again, for us, it needs a guy who's have a lot of patience, who is willing to take that long journey and walk with us.
Wow.
Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic. This is good stuff. I mean, we're going off at a tangent, but this is all good. This is all good. Sharon Calix is on the live. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for coming along. She's one of the speakers tomorrow, an amazing social media expert.
Hi, Sharon.
Gia says, yes, Des, I see this with my ambitious, independent women clients, and sadly, that's why the relationships weren't working out. I
Yes.
allow them to take baby steps with that wild process.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I
I agree.
told Michelle Richard says walking away definitely a fear, and so this is where the patients come in. Yes,
Yes.
Margaret. But in the same sense, like I'm talking from experience, where I've got attached with somebody that had a child, and then from the man's point of view, because we don't say about this. What about us? What about when we get attached, and for whatever reason, she just shuts the door on us, and then we've been attached to those children that aren't ours, and then we've got to get on. We've got to get on with our life as well. So
Um, it is a good question, and it is very difficult to deal with because I've gone through that journey with my first son because I went out with this guy when my son was really, really young. And even my son grew up to call him dad. And we went on for quite a long time, that if my son was naughty, I would say to him, just wait till dad comes home. That kind of thing. So we developed that relationship. But as things progressed and everything like that, obviously the relationship began to fall apart. And yes, the child does get hurt. But for us, as a single parent, because the children are there, for me personally, at that time, I left the door open that he can still come and visit and still have that family dinner with us so that my son still sees him, so that relationship wasn't completely cut off. It took time, gradually, and gradually it faded away. And also it came to a point where my son was a lot more older and began to explain what happened, about the dad side of it. And you know what? My son up to today consider him to be his father. He still asks for him because they had such a good relationship. And I kept maintaining that relationship to my best ability, but as I move forward from that previous experience, I then realized as I begin to date, I begin to protect my son. For example, if I was dating back then with my older son, I make sure that all my dating it's along when my son is not around. So he doesn't have to go through that pain again. So he doesn't have to see that messy breakup again. So what I put in place was to get a childminder. It was a bit costly, but I had a great relationship with my childminder. So if I know I'm going to spend the weekend with this partner, for example, I make sure my child wasn't around. So he was protected. So it is a very thin line, and it can be very hurtful to the partner, the one that's, as well as to the child. So there's 3 people or 4 people getting hurt in that relationship. But again, for me, I learned to put protecting that barriers around my children, when it comes to dating, when I'm going out there, unless I'm really, really ready, or the person that I'm going to be dating or I am dating, they are ready to meet my son. You don't meet my son. You don't meet my children. So that way they're protected. So I'm dealing with you on a one-to-one, me and you, on that relationship. So that's how I've been handling that kind of
fantastic.
relationship. Yes.
Brilliant. Well, what was your journey like in the dating world?
Well, crazy. In terms of the independence part was a great thing because also I've always run my own businesses. And like I said to you earlier on, I held that banner, there's nothing a man can do for me that I can't do for myself. So that creates, even though I met some amazing guys, great guys, but how do I allow them in? How do I get them to come and see? So that used to create a lot of problems in terms of dating. And another thing as well, being a business person, I tend to sort of like attract men that were already in business. So really also there wasn't that much time, which was great because I realized, okay, fine, you can't demand much of my time because I know you're busy, that kind of thing. I know I'm busy. So yes, but I had a really good journey in terms of my relationship. But the only things, like I say, it's being too independent and being a single parent and trying to match up with that relationship was quite challenging. For example, I was dating this guy and I was a market trader back then. And I thought, right, I mean, we went out for a long time. And I said to him one day, I said, look, I'm really tired being a market trader. I'm cold. I'm going to change career and everything. We talked about it. So he says to me, what do you want to do? But within this relationship, I made sure my son wasn't involved. As much as we had that long relationship going, I made sure my son was involved. He was, protected, his feelings, that kind of thing. So I think that creates a problem as well within that relationship, not allowing him to be part of my son's life. And as we talked and everything, and I says, I'm going to open a pub, he was shocked. He was shocked. He says, why are you opening a pub? You're a black woman. Why get in a pub? And I'm thinking, well, why not? And you know what? That actually spoiled a relationship that was such a long time. That was such a long time, that kind of relationship. Because even when I opened the pub, we had the celebration, he never turned up. And even though I tried to reach out and says, I'm going to take time out so we can spend some time, and it just didn't work. So after that, I realized if I was to date anybody, it needs to be somebody who also would allow me to be who I am in that journey. So apart from that, my journey of relationships is good. And also with part of the book, I used to write a lot of poems. So when I'm heartbroken, I write poems. So I had some great relationships, but I know there's things now I can definitely put to make them better, allow them to be part of my life, allow them not to hold this banner that I always hold. I can do everything by myself, and not having to have the fear of asking for help and expose that vulnerability and say it's okay. Yeah.
Fantastic. So that leads on to the book that you've written. So, what is your book about?
A single mother in the dating game. You see, what happened is not having dated for a long time. I'm not going to say how long. I'm going to just say that a long time. And so I went out on a date for the first time, and like the question a person say about online dating, by the time I decided to go on a date, everything's changed. Everything's changed. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And talking about missing red flags, I missed so many red flags. Big one, boom. Oh, what happened to that? Another one. Oh, what happened to that? So when I went on these dates and got there, as we sat down to eat, the waiter gave us the menu, walked away, and the guy turned around and says to me, well, I've eaten. I'm like, what? What did you say? You've eaten? And I have this massive conversation in my head. Should I get up and go? Is that a red flag? What do I do? So anyway, I sat down, I had the dinner, and I said to myself, I've got my money, I can pay for myself, But
Did you do?
I did. I did.
No, what makes me laugh is that and a lot of us men say the same thing. You get these women, they want to be strong and they want to do it all, and then when the man wants to help them, they want to allow him to help him.
Yeah. So what happened? But no, this one you asked me on a date, but you tell me you've eaten. So what do I do? What do I do? How do I deal with this? And exactly, I should have. But what happened there in terms of I didn't turn the spotlights on him. He actually brought me back to reality in terms of I walked away and think, well, what happened? What happened to women like me who have a successful career, build up a business, bringing up their children on their own, and ready to date? What do we do? And as I tossed and turned on that, and I realized, wow, every poem I've written over the years, it all tells a story. So I was tossing and turning, asking the questions, and I wrote on one of my notebooks, a single mother. I went to my office and I was talking to my staff and told them my journey. And they says, well, why don't you write a book called A Single Mother in the Dating Game? I'm sure you've got a whole heap of story to tell. And at first we laughed about it. And yes, I sat and I wrote the book, but the book is not all about dating because I work with lone parents. I looked at my journey. How do we budget? Because we struggle a lot to budgeting. And I remember leaving it on £18 a month. after paying all my bills and everything, and I struggle a great deal. So in the book, I tell you my story, how I struggle in terms of budgeting, and then I share with you the steps I took to overcome from debts and to be able to manage that kind of thing. I also talked about when you introduce your son to this new guy, because I remember on this, I gotta share this, I had a handyman. My son was okay, the guy was a handyman, comes in, fix all this. I had the shop at that time. So he will come in the shop, takes him to play football until one day the guy decided to come and visit. 8 o'clock, the doorbell went, and I'm like, I'm not expecting anybody. So he stopped playing his toys. He says, Mom, what's that? I said, I don't know. So I looked out the window and I said, it's so and so. I said, let's go and open the door. We opened the door. My son held my hand all the way through the sitting room. The guy gave me the bottle of wine. I went to the kitchen, the bottle of wine. My son stood in front of him, looking at him, and he went, how comes you're wearing a woman's shoes? Oh, that day I nearly fell down the ground. I said to him, it's not wearing a woman's shoes. That's how it's, that's men's shoes like. I went back, left him, went in the kitchen, poured a glass of wine. Mom! I said, what? I thought something. Mom, how comes he smells like a woman? I thought that was. And I was handing the glass of wine to the guy, and the guy looked to me. I looked to my son, like pulling him towards me to get him to sit there. And my son wasn't having it. He wasn't having it. He was standing in front of this guy. He was all right to take him to play football the rest of it, but you're in my home. That kind of authority. And I'm like, wow. And I stood back and I watched. And then gradually the guy didn't stay. He left. And I think, I have to think seriously, how do we then now introduce these new guys into our relationships? I talk about that in the book. I talk about the differences that we become lone parents, the reasons being, that kind of thing. And then from there onwards, that half of the book, I then talk about my journey in relationships. So you'll read a poem and then you'll read the story behind it. And then that goes on. And then I wrote about Golden Age. Golden Age is about me transition. What do I want? Which part of me that needs to be changed? Am I ready for a relationship? And what's going to happen? What are the qualities that I've learned over the years, being a mother, being a businesswoman, and coping with relationships. So the book covers quite a lot. It's not just all about dating, but it covers about the journey as a single parent that we go through. So, and again, it's written at the age of 21, what my mindset was, the age of 30, you're now got kids, you got mortgages, you got this, you got that, you got that. And then now come to a point where all of that, it sort of settles down in a good place. You relax. You don't have to worry about it, and begin to focus on yourself. So yeah, that's how the book is written.
Fantastic. And the book, as I'm assuming, it's for anybody can read.
Anybody can read it. Yes.
And it sounds very inspirational, and it's for anybody can be inspired by that to see your journey. And it's not a book just about a steps book, do this, do that. I think they're the ones that really, the best books that you can read are the ones that connects with you here, that you just sort of feel that the author is absolutely talking directly to you.
Yes.
There's a few statements here. Michelle Richards, I made a decision to finish with the father of my child because he wouldn't live in the same house. He didn't want to finish, but I felt I had to make that brave decision. Thank you for sharing that, Michelle. Suman, hi Suman, she's one of the speakers tomorrow. She's watching and small. Vivian, hi Vivian. So we're going to be wrapping up now, but there's two questions that you can answer very quickly. Patrick Garner, I've known him for many years. He's a fellow driving instructor from 20 years ago in our area. He says, question, can single mothers be guilty of putting the new partner before her children?
We're definitely guilty. We're definitely. For me, my children are number one, apart from me. I'm number one, they're number two, and you're number three.
Des is number one. Des is number one.
Okay.
Then the children.
Okay,
then
this is number one, then Margaret, then my children. I would say we are very much guilty of that. Putting our children first, because it's at the moment it's all we know. Before you're coming in that relationship to come and date us, we've been so long with our children, you know, they become they are part of us. And yes, we are very much guilty. I'm very much guilty of that my children come first, whatever I do, what I'm thinking of, what I'm planning, if a new partner comes in. And I suppose that's why I never dated for a long time, because I didn't want to share my time with this person, feeling my time is divided between these two people that I love greatly. So I decided, you know what, just stay and bring up my children. When that is finished, then I'm ready. The new partner coming in, I should be able to give my time effectively to him, as well as now my son is grown up, he's ready. So yes, to that question, well, for me, I'm speaking for myself, I am very guilty on that. Yes.
And another question, he says, can the children feel second-class citizens to the mother's new partner?
Yes, it could happen. And it does happen, because as I work with many lone parents, quite a lot of those stories does come in. And when I'm doing coaching with lone parents, and most of the time I say they want to run a business, but they've got through all these issues going, they're sharing with me what happened to them when their mother had the new partner, had the new partner treated them, that kind of thing. So sometimes I try to address those issues. Yes, it does happen, and it can happen, but it's up to the individual parent how you deal that issue, and what are the boundaries that you put first, that you put in place before you enter that relationship. So boundaries are very, very important, and making sure it is clear between the both of you and understand what kind of relationship that you both are looking for. Yeah.
Well, we're going to cover all of these and more tomorrow.
Yes, which I'm looking forward to.
Fourth Dating and Relationship Conference. I'm just on the registration list, and over the last 12 hours, 23 people have registered, and they're still coming in as we're speaking. So
fantastic.
from the last 12 hours. So I do feel it's going to be a packed house, as it usually is, and it's going to be amazing. Come along, yes, learn, grow, understand yourself first of all. That's the whole focus of the event tomorrow, and all my events, whether it's business or dating and relationships. And yeah, and it just goes to show there is a need out there, and this is a type of event for those that are going to come are the ones that want to understand about themselves. Why am I still in this relationship? Why am I still with the same partner? Why am I keep having failed relationships? Why am I still single? You know, why? How do I? People are going to come there tomorrow and they're going to think, wow, like I can see now the pattern that I have, because we all have a pattern.
Yes,
no
we do.
We all have a pattern, when even me, and we react when we're stressed in a certain way, and we deal with that to protect ourselves of fear and all those other things as well. And it's just actually being aware of that, because I think most of us are not even aware of it. People are just reacting, and don't want to deal with their stuff. I go to therapy. I put my hand up, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm working on myself, you know, and I come out there feeling inspired, and it's great. And you know, when I tell people I have therapy, they say, "What's wrong with you?" I said, I'm always mad. I'm always mad. Listen, Margaret, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
You know, everybody, she said that she was nervous about this, and I couldn't get her to shut up.
That is true.
It's all good.
It's good.
Michelle says, thank you, Des. Gia says, thank you, Des and Margaret. This was a great discussion. Have an amazing day tomorrow. Thank you, Gia.
Thank you.
Vivian says, hi. Michelle says, have an amazing event, Desmond. That's a good topic to cover. Why I made that decision and now have a wonderful partner. Fantastic. Why I made that decision and have a partner.
Fantastic.
Patrick Garner says, well done, Margaret. Margaret, how can people get hold of you? You've got
Well,
a website page?
Yes, they can just type in Margaret.Thorley and I'll come up, my books and everything, but I do the work. Simple, MargaretThorley.com.
Really
Yeah,
fantastic.
Margaret Thorley, that's it.
If you can just go and answer some of the questions in the thread, and everybody that's on the live, if you can share this as well, and Margaret, share this in your group as well.
I will do it.
Can you just copy and paste your links in the chat so people can connect with you as well?
Okay,
see everybody tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, bright and early.
Yeah, I'll be there.
8:30 registration. Don't worry about the snow if it's cold. It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. Put a hat on like me. Nice little hair. Nice. Put a hat on, your scarf, and you warmed up, and come along.
And come along. And you're gonna have a great time. Thank you so much. Thank you, Des. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. All right, bye. God bless. Bye, everybody. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Bye. Good night. Good night. Bye.